If I were to give this video a solid piece of advice and high value right off the bat, that would be that dreadlocks symbolize more than just a hairstyle, more than just a fashion. Deep down in a lot of our souls, we know that it symbolizes our faith, our humanity, our individualism, our creative expression, and our true selves. So if anybody ever tries to trump you for expressing yourself in this way, always make sure to stand up and fight against that. Stand your grounds in confidence. The year is 2021, and can you believe that we're still facing dreadlock discrimination in parts of the world where dreadlocks have originated from? It's kind of unreal. We're going to the depths of Ghana, where a Rastafarian teen is fighting to keep his dreadlocks to attend public school. What's going on? My name is Knotlocks. That guys is not nation. These sort of situations arise so that we can approach them with discernment and hopefully help persuade people's opinions on the topic of matter. So this story coming out of Accra, Ghana, shout out Wiselocks, Zaylock 23, he is over there holding it down. I wonder if he's facing any discrimination. Tyrone Iris Margai, who is 17, had to make a difficult decision after being accepted into the high school of his choice, but now his decision is actually his faith or his education. An official at the academically elite Akamoda school in Ghana told the teen he would have to cut his dreadlocks before enrolling. For Tyrone, who is a Rasta, cutting his locks is non-negotiable. So him and his family have asked for the courts to intervene on the matter. Tyrone says that he manifests his faith through his hair, and he tells the press that it's assuming like telling a Christian to not read the Bible or to go to church when you're telling a Rasta man to cut his locks to come into a building. His hair is an important part of his faith. Rastas believe that they grow their hair out naturally in locks in obedience to biblical commandments, more notably the Nazirite vow. And this is a public symbol that they've made. They've made this vow as a public expression with their hair. I mean, not all dreadlocks are symbolic in this way, but we got to remember that there is a lot of people in this world that have dreadlocks and they're attached to their faith like this. Although Rastas, they believe in the Bible, it is a distinct religion guided by unique practices, including the adherence to strict vegetarian diet, the use of cannabis for spiritual purposes, and the avoidance of alcohol. Sounds like the lifestyle that I'm living. Short hair is a requirement at the private school in the northern outskirts of Ghana, Accra. The school did not respond to the AP's repeated requests for comment, but argued in court documents that all boys, regardless of their religion, must keep hair low and neatly trimmed. Why? Why is that? Why do they feel that low and neatly trimmed is the proper way for our black people to wear their hair? Like, this is the natural way for us to wear it. Unhappy about the school's reluctance to accommodate their son's beliefs, Tyrone sued the school and the government in March. A separate suit was filed by another Rasta student who was also denied admission to the school. Wow, this school needs to be put on blast for not respecting human and religious rights. Tyrone's ongoing case is one of many instances in which Ghana's public high schools, most started by Christian missionaries during and after European colonization, have become a battleground for the fight for religious tolerance. In a separate incident earlier this year, a Muslim student was prevented by school authorities from fasting during Ramadan, Islam's holiest month. Wow. That's crazy to hear. In Ghana, a majority Christian country, prides itself as democratic and religious tolerant in a region plagued by interreligious conflicts. Government and faith leaders have signaled their commitment to religious harmony, including recent financial donations by top officials who are Muslim to the church building projects. A high court judge ruled in May that the school's ultimatum amounts to an illegal and unconstitutional attempt to suspend the manifestation of the applicant's constitutionally granted freedom to practice and manifest his religion, according to the court's documents. This is a huge thing to remember. The legal standoff fronted by the Attorney General has raised questions about the country's self-image as the region's most stable democracy. Interreligious tolerance in Ghana is very fragile. It looks like religious minorities have the heavier burden to sustain interreligious tolerance. It has to be the interreligious tolerance on the terms of Christian majority. Despite being offered a scholarship to study at a private school where he wouldn't be required to cut his hair, Tyrone, with the support of his family, has chosen to stay at Akamoda School. The other student who also won his suit against the school has decided though to take the scholarship. Tyrone believes that he's been divinely chosen to keep fighting the school, so no other student has to choose between their faith and their education again. They have done it to other people before and they just keep quiet and walked away. Jah, the Most High, has given us the authority and the strength to do it. Crazy. So good for Tyrone for standing up to it. He ends up suing the school and winning, and still being able to attend the school with his dreadlocks intact. So this is a huge win. And I mean, no shade on the other student who actually took the scholarship at the other school as well, because you know he still got a free education out of this whole ordeal. There's no hate for him to do that. Like, that was a great decision. But really big ups to Tyrone for sticking around and showing this school what it means to have you know, a constitution, to have rights, to have freedom of expression, freedom of religion. A lot of these things are being taken away from us day by day, especially with the whole pandemic that's going on right now. So the more I see people standing up for their human rights, the better it's gonna be for all of us. And why would somebody refuse a student because of their hair? You know, it's so ridiculous. It's basically like them slapping us in the face saying that our hair is not neat and cleanly trimmed. Like, there's a lot of symbolism in our locks. For a lot of us, I know not everybody, but for a lot of us, it symbolizes faith. It's very important to keep that locked in our hearts and understand that when we are being trumped, we must stand and fight and prove to them that, you know, this is not right, that what they're doing to us. Just super happy though. I'm super happy that Tyrone has won the battle. You know, big ups to Tyrone. And his locks are looking fantastic. You know, definitely looking like a real Rasta youth. You can see that some of his locks are actually kind of breaking off at the ends, a natural occurrence. I would say his locks are about 4 years in or so, free-forming them in. And they're actually on that thinner side of free-form locks. Looking fantastic. Super stoked. That's gonna end this video today. I just want to talk about this while it was in the news. Dreadlocks in the news in 2021. These are the stories that we hear, unfortunately. Usually it comes across as discrimination. There's never stories in the news about positivity with dreadlocks. If you can find any positive dreadlock stories in the news, definitely hit me up on Reddit and let me know that, or Instagram. Today's question of the day: have you ever faced discrimination regarding your dreadlocks? Leave that comment down below and tell me about your story and your experience. And that's about it. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. One love, everybody. Peace out.